All right, welcome back to the Down Under Lawns. So today on the channel, we're going to take a look at the tools that you'll need for a lawn renovation. Now, if this is your first lawn renovation, the idea behind this tool guide is just to show you, if you've got some of these tools in your shed, what you can actually do to do a lawn renovation. So stick around. The Down Under Lawn. The best lawn in town. Alright, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Do me a favour, hit the subscribe, maybe smash that like button. You know, they're all going to help me grow and I want to continue doing these videos in the future. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them in the future. Alright, so let's get to it. And then on the day of the renovation, you probably need to make sure you've already got your sand. Depending on your soil type, now if you're in Western Australia probably, or close to the beach, probably got a sandy profile, so you're probably looking for something with organics, but most places around the country probably have a clay base, so you're just looking to, if you just want to level your lawn, just give your lawn something to grow back in with and not cause too many dramas, then a wash sand is definitely all you're after. So you can pick this up at your local hardware store. It's about $8 a bag. The recommended rate for top dressing is about 10 millimeters per 100 square meters. Day of renovation, you probably need a trailer, access to a trailer. So whether you can borrow one from a friend, a relative. So you go to start your renovation, is you can either choose to scalp your lawn first, or you can choose Scarifier. So this is a still one. Runs on their AK battery system, which is not their professional range. Very simple to operate. Got a catcher. You can choose not to catch it and then rake it up afterwards. But yeah, so the idea is you put it down low enough. All right, so this, most of these, the thatches scarifiers come with two different attachments. So as you can see, this one has like this tine attachment over here, little dangly things that sort of move freely. This I found is good for using with cool season grass. So if you've got cool season grass like ryegrass, fescue, Kentucky blue, I find that if you use this attachment, because when that lawn sort of dies, you start getting thatch, you get like that straw-like look in it, and this does a really great job of picking that up. This will probably be better just to scratch the surface and just get that without going into the soil. Doesn't really cut get any underground thatch, but this is what you class as a scarifier. So as you can see, it's got these solid tines that come along, they spin around and they go into the grass, chopping it as you go along. So, and these do a really good job of chopping into the ground. Probably, this one probably goes in about an inch. And if you let it, you can adjust the wheels to go up and down, but the lowest it'll go in and it will remove all the thatch. So thatch is just the dead grass. So yeah, this is what I would recommend with a warm season grass such as cooch. Because this is a battery one, it's just not as powerful as some of the petrol ones. I'll put a petrol one up over here. The difference is mostly just the power. They've all got these solid tines. They just can go through the lawns, whereas this tends to bog down. So what I like to do is scalp my lawn first, as low as I can, and then I'll come in with this and I'll really push this through, go over two directions. But yeah, the best things about the lawn game is if you ask somebody, someone might have it and they will definitely lend it to you, or maybe you can get a few friends together, you help them, they'll help you over the course of a weekend, and you can hire these things. So you can definitely hire a scarifier, an aerator. So if you hire them at both times, you might only need them for an hour, they might only need them for an hour, but if you help each other, then you know, you third the cost, especially in this day and age. So, you know, if you are going to have a battery one, I'd recommend always at least having two batteries, because it does chew the power. If you don't want to buy one, and because you only need it once a year, maybe every 2 years, definitely most hire shops will definitely carry a lawn scarifier, and at the same time you pick up an aerator if you need one of them too. You've scarified or you've scalped. Now, if you're going to scalp, I would recommend a petrol mower. Once again, most people probably have a petrol mower. This is one that I've picked up. This will cut down to 16 mil, and as most people probably cut their lawn around that 50, this will do a plenty good job on what you need. Just pick this up from a client. But yeah, if you look on Marketplace, there's plenty of these mowers where it's a Mazport or a Honda that cut around that 10, 12 millimeter mark. Nice scalpy mower. This is what I like to call. They're super handy. Then if you're lucky enough like me, if you've got a battery mower or a second mower that you can use to go along and your clippings off your Scarifying, then that's always handy, but you can always use your petrol mower. The idea is you just want to try and get as much as the clippings off the lawn as you can. That way you're left with a nice smooth surface, and you would go over this. I'd probably recommend leaving the bag off, and then you've got to go and clean them up with your mower again. You'll get all that, and you'll end up filling up a good sized box trailer, 6x4. So just look out for that. You're always surprised with how much clippings you do have. Just a whippersnipper or a brush cutter to do the edges, blower vac, obviously to blow all the dust and clippings back into the middle and off the road. And yeah, all the other thing is just your PPE, so gloves, ear protection, face protection when you're whippersnipping. Then your next job is to core aerate. Now, it's totally up to you. Like, it's up to what you can afford and how big your property is. So whether it's only this little 10, 12 square meter section, I would either recommend just using a pitchfork and just going through and putting it in and just going through and putting lots of holes in there. And now this, by doing that, that just helps remove compaction. Now everyone's probably got their old grandpa's pitchfork somewhere along the line, or if you do, you can definitely use one of them. Otherwise, just looking out throughout the season, Cyclone now do, there's plenty of others. You can pick these up from your local hardware store. They're just basically a manual core aerator. So the core, you put in there and it pops out there, puts a nice big hole in there, and that's just going to remove any compaction or help remove compaction. 5 centimeters, you just want to put this in and go bang, bang, and just along there, along there, along there. And then that will help. If you do this over a course of many years and you're putting sand in there, you can really change your soil profile to a sandy soil and help with water. But yeah, just by doing this will help remove compaction and will help get the nutrients down, the water down to where it needs to be. So that's manual core aeration. But as I said, when you're hiring the Scarifier, and if you've got a big lawn, like even 150 square meters, there's no way you'd want to do that with that. I'd highly recommend. I think I hired one last year, a core aerator. I'll put it up on the screen over here. I hired one for about $150, $140 for 4 hours. So I just found if I got my lawn scarified, then I went and picked it up. You're not wasting any time, so you're only going to definitely use it, and you'll probably only use it for half an hour because you just want to run over it one way. If you can, go over it the other way and just put lots of holes in it. It's definitely a vital step. Just helps with compaction, with your soil profile, getting the nutrients and the water down to where it needs to be in that soil. So next is probably one of your most vital it's a shovel. Now this is a bricky shovel, square mouth shovel. Just check how heavy they are, maybe check a few different ones. And yeah, this is for spreading. The idea is you want to spread this off, so you also need a wheelbarrow. But yeah, you put it out of the wheelbarrow and you're spreading this over the soil. But now once you've spread your soil, you want to level it out. So you've got a couple of options there. But this is just for pushing the sand around, getting it in those core holes, and leveling off your lawn. So if you've got any low spots, this will help push the sand into there and you can level off your lawn. So this is just a cheaper one. It was about $20 from my local hardware store. You can use this is a concrete placer. You can use this as like a spreader just to spread the sand out. And then last year, the year before, for my birthday, we went all out and we got the 1.2 metre across, fully aluminium. This is by the Williams Tool Company. It's made in Australia, all aluminium, super light. was about $200, but this just obviously gives you much lighter, definitely lighter than that one, but it gives you a more of a square meterage coverage, so you're doing it faster. So lawntips.net, check them out. They might have them in stock, but yeah, it's the Williams Tool Company. I'll have a link in the description. From there, I like to fertilise. I've got this stuff here. This is the Dominate fertiliser. Dominate fertiliser, just a little granular of goodness for your lawn. So this is a Scott's lawn spreader. I think they're about $30 from your local hardware. I've had mine for years. You just put it in depending on your size of your granular. It's got 5 different settings. I normally go 4 or 5 and just put enough in. This normally fits of that fertiliser maybe about 2.5 kilos. And then if you've got a bigger area, you can either get a tow behind spreader or a push spreader. I actually started using this. This is by Selecta or Silvan. Holds about 10 kilos. It's got 10 different settings of openings. Fits about 10 kilos in, and it does a really big spray. So I think you can spray this out about 6 or 7 meters if you're really going for it. But if you slow it down, it won't spray anywhere near as fast. But yeah, even if you can't afford that, but you've got the fertilizer, you can spread it by hand. You just got to work out how many square meters you have. I'd recommend using a rubber glove and just spread it out. So even if you just worked out a little 3 or 5 square meter area, see how much you put out, how many handfuls, use a different jug, and then go from there. Probably last but not least, you need a way to water everything in. Now, you can go to all this trouble, have the best scalp, have the best core aerate, have the best scarifier in the world, but unless you don't have a water source where you can really crank your watering, this is all not worth it. So whether it's an irrigation system, pop-up system, or you just got a hose with a sprinkler, is probably the most important thing, is having a way to set up your sprinkler. A spreader, fertilizer spreader, get this from your local hardware. This one's by Scott. It's got 5 different settings, holds about 2.5 kilos of probably a bigger granular. And then, yeah, you just basically go around holding it in, just making sure you get nice even coverage. Just work out how many square meters of lawn you have, and then work out what the recommended rate is. So when I'm doing a lawn renovation, I'm using the Lawntips Dominate, and that goes out at 3 kilos per 100 square meters. So you just need to work it out. And then I measure it out using scales, because there's no point overdoing it. But yeah, having a good spreader. But if you don't have a spreader, you can use your hand. Just measure out how many square meters you have. Once again, getting another container, pouring that in, then you know you've got to get that all over that area. But I'd recommend using a rubber glove. Yeah, otherwise you can also go big. So this is a 10 kilo. This holds 10 kilos of granular. Has 10 different opening sizes, has a nice handle, and will spread probably a range of around 7 meters. So it'll go 3.5 that way, 3.5 that way, and will give you a quicker way to spread over more square meters if that's what you have. Or there's tow behind spreaders, there's push spreaders, there's lots of them. Thing is that you might want to do is for getting some liquids down. So I always recommend putting soil wetters down, maybe some liquids just to help your lawn, some seaweed, humic acids, and just a balanced fertilizer, liquid fertilizer first, because the granular will take a few days to get up. So if you do have a little sprayer, so this is a battery one, or you can get the hand ones, or you can get the little tiny ones. This is just a 16 litre backpack one, because I do a lot of spraying and yeah, don't want to get RSI. So I think that's about it. So you can either really go to town and you can get the best of everything. Otherwise, you can just, as I said, pitchfork, shovel, old lawnmower, just a hand, using your hand to spread, bit of sand, and then a really cheap lawn level. You can do a great renovation. This is the tools that you might have already in your house, or you might have friends that already have these. Yeah, and you can get away with just doing the bare minimum or really going to town, have the best equipment. It's really up to you. Either way, you'll still get the same result. All right, that's going to wrap another video. I hope you got something out of this DIY homeowner's tool guide for a lawn renovation. If you've got any questions, put them down below. I'm happily answer them. If there's another tool that you think you can use at home that I didn't cover, let me know. Put it in the comments down below. And thanks for watching. The Down Under Lawn, the best lawn in town.